play around with it. But should Moyes do the same thing against Manchester City? Should he? And listen, I was tearing my hair out. I thought it was completely wrong against Spurs, and it didn't work for a long period of time. And then obviously all of a sudden Spurs sat back. Now, obviously Manchester City are a different proposition. They're a different proposition this season entirely, to be fair. They're not as strong in attack. We're not seeing De Bruyne is out as well. That's another thing to account for. So, I mean, would you like Moyes to stick with that same press that he's shown against Leicester and Spurs, or do you think there needs to be a little bit of a low block, maybe the kind of game plan that we've had against Wolves? So I'll come to Henry, and then we'll have to work our way round.
I think after what we saw in the first 16 minutes against Tottenham, with the quality they have going forward, I know City obviously haven't been like firing on all cylinders going forward, but of course they still have Sterling, Aguero, Jesus. Ferran Torres has looked a great signing so far. Like, they still have all this firepower. So I'd rather see us play how we did against Wolves, in terms of just sit back a bit and then go on the counter. At least for the first half, just settle in to it, so we're not sort of bombarding straight up and finding ourselves 3-0 down in the first 15 minutes again. I think we did sort of get a bit lucky with Tottenham that we managed to get back into the game, but it did show and expose how poor the defence still can be at times. So I'd like to see us sort of maybe revert to the deeper lying and then hitting City on the counter as and when we can. If it's still 0-0 going into the second half, then yeah, change it up, go into that high press and try catch City off guard, expecting us just to go, well, we've got our point so far, so we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. While it's 0-0, go more forward. We've not really got anything to lose by losing the game, because we've already got more points than we thought we would have at this stage of the season anyway. So I'd rather see us start defensive and then grow into it and go attacking, rather than go attacking, try get a lead early on and then defend it for the rest of the game. So I'd rather see that, like, start conservative and then build forward rather than the other way around.
They've got 3 11s that can match up to our first 11, really, aren't they? In their system, so there's no way gung ho against them. But obviously, we start the same formation, the same players, but the system's slightly different. Obviously, we're going to have to be sitting a lot deeper, absorbing a bit of pressure, and probably relying on Antonio and Bowen to sort of stretch the game when we do get on the ball. Rice has got the ability to make the long passes that we need, and if we can get forwards and create something or get some set pieces, we've got threats in the air with Susik and a few of the centre halves. So I certainly think we have to play a lot more conservative football, but at the same time we're still keeping the same shape, and I hope we're still keeping the same shape and the same personnel. So I feel like hope maybe if we can get something from the game, if we sort of sit tight for the first half, and in the second half try and stretch the game a little bit, we've got every chance, haven't we?
In as much as that we should probably be a little bit deeper, certainly compared to how we were set up in Tottenham, yes. They've still got quality in there. Foden in the middle of the park, obviously Bernardo Silva. If we're as high as what we were against Tottenham, they will still have a full day with them players, even without De Bruyne, for me. I wouldn't want to see us play that high up the pitch, especially against Man City. I'm not a fan of it, especially as our 3 centre backs are not exactly the quickest, and that leaves us a little bit exposed. But obviously listening to what everyone's been saying, I think there is a little bit of confidence that we can have from the game. One of the things that I think should be an area that we should target from is not just set pieces with Souček, but I think we need to be getting Bowen and Kufel as far forward as possible when possible, and basically telling Souček, go and stand next to Carl Walker. Carl Walker's probably a Gary Neville. I'm taking it from him. I'd love to say it's my idea. He's been quite critical in the past of Carl Walker's body position when the ball's on the other side of the pitch. Go and get Souček to stand on him and get a good delivery into the box. Because that, for me, I agree, City are not the greatest defensively, especially since they obviously haven't really replaced Company yet. This Diaz does look quite solid. But I would target that for us as a tactic for open play, because obviously we know Souček has got the ability to get up and down, so that wouldn't worry me too much. But from a defensive point of view, I think we need to be about enough 10 yards deeper than what we were against Tottenham, because I think with the pace of Sterling in particular, they would have a field day with their attacking, Foden and Silva as well, kicking passes. So I think low block for now. I think